How can I top that? First of all, I've got a few notes here.
There's the details.
I don't give speeches too often, but I have to keep a few notes. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming. It's really a pleasure to have all our friends from Ocean Hills Country Club, and particularly Molly and David for flying down here last night. They didn't get here till late last night. They had work all day yesterday, so thank you for coming also. And there is one other couple who has a June 30th anniversary here also today.
Oh.
That's Dave and Levon Smith, so congratulations. Is there anybody else who has it? I also want to thank our 3 children and their families for sponsoring this event today. It's really been a pleasure and a beautiful day. It seems like every couple has an opinion as to how their marriage survived. 40, 50, sometimes 60 years. And this is our secret. If we have a major conflict, we sit down at the table like 2 adults should, and we talk about it. I give my opinion, and Merlee gives hers, and we go with Merlee's. An example of this is that we left the dress code off the invitation. And Merlee said it should have been dressy casual. And I said, well, what does that mean? She says, that means the men don't have to wear ties. With one exception. You. I wasn't being dishonest with you. She just nominated me to be the only one wearing a tie. A few of you did anyways. As you may have noticed, I don't make many speeches.
That's the go-to line.
So I asked Merlee if it'd be all right if George Falkowitz wrote a little speech for me. But she didn't think that was appropriate.
There's some story behind that.
This won't last but a couple more minutes. I worked my way through college as a brakeman on the railroad during the summers, and I just want to tell you how we happened to meet. It was at a small college in Walla Walla, Washington. I was a senior, Merlee was a freshman. And during the school year, I worked in the kitchen running the dishwasher and scraping dishes as the freshman waitresses brought the dishes up to the front window. A friend of mine who graduated from high school with and I were alternately ran the dishwasher and scraped the dishes at the window. This is how I happened to first see Merlee, because she was one of the waitresses. She was on the work van also, and there were about 10 or 15 waitresses that waited on the freshman women's dormitory dining room, and she was one of the ones that brought the dishes to the window. Well, we always wanted to be the window. Charlie Gant and I, we were good friends in high school, and we always wanted to be at the window instead of running the dishwasher, because we could always chat with the new freshmen coming in, the waitresses. So this is how I happened to first notice Merlee, and I thought she was the most attractive young woman that had come through Whitman in 4 years of working in the kitchen. Later, I found that her personality was even more attractive.
Did she write that?
Well, she laughed at my jokes. That was a good thing. And later found that she was. No one was more compassionate with friends and family than Merlee. was trying to get a date with her. See, I worked in the kitchen and that wasn't too impressive. So I figured maybe we could get introduced or something. Well, I happened to date one of her sorority sisters once or twice, and she was also a waitress, or they called them hashers at the time. And this other young lady was a hasher, and we ate our meal after the rest of the freshman women were served. And this young lady who I had already dated once or twice invited Merlee over to our table to introduce us. And so that broke the ice. I was able to then maybe ask her for a date later, but not right away, because you don't ask a sorority sister out one right after another.
That shows discretion.
So I figured maybe in the invitationals, the Sigma Chi fraternity, which I was a member of, I had these sororities over one at a time, the freshman women's sororities, to meet all the fraternity people, and there were about 5 or 6 fraternities and 5 or 6 sororities. So it took like 2 or 3 months to run them all through. So I figured maybe I could meet and talk with Merlee at one of these invitationals after we'd been introduced. So coincidentally, about 2 or 3 weeks after we were formally introduced, we had one at the Sigma Chi house where we were supposed to provide some entertainment and meet the freshman women at the Sigma Chi house from the Tri-Delt. Well, they drafted actually 5 of us to do a skit for the freshman Tri-Delt sorority. And I was drafted as one of the 5. Now, I don't particularly want to participate in a silly dance, but that's what it was. They lined us, they told us, and there were 4 or 5 of us were cutting up quite a bit in the fraternity, so that's, I guess, part of the reason they nominated me or drafted me. So the 5 of us got up, and we had to do a can-can dance and kick our legs up to the music. We kicked our legs up to the music, and we had kitchen kettles on our head with this handle sticking out to the side. I thought, well, I didn't really want to do this. I want to try to impress Merlee and not drive her away, because it was really silly. Well, anyway, it brought a big laugh, and I was kind of surprised, but it did. And later on, she said that was one thing that she really enjoyed. So now I would like to honor my wife with 50 years. We can dance for 2 hours. Well, the bar's still open.
Okay, so Ken and Merlee, we'd like you to start your dancing, if you would, and this is a song that you asked us to play for you. And yeah, and Ken, it's a nice slow song, Ken. So thank you.